Hi everyone, I've been wanting to do this video for a while now. I got my results back in February. I sent off my kids during the Christmas rush, so it took a while. I got it back in February, and I was really excited to get my results. They're really interesting, but before I get to my results, um, just a little bit about myself. I am Puerto Rican, born and raised on the island, 100% Puerto Rican. My family is all Puerto Rican. And well, being Puerto Rican, there are certain ethnic groups that you expect already, to have. So I was definitely expecting Spain. I was expecting Africa, and I was expecting Native American, Taino Indian, which is our indigenous group that used to live on the island. Um, so then before I got my results, before I even did the test, I started working on my family tree. And I didn't expect to get very far at all because if you know anything about Puerto Rico, you know we're not the best record keepers. So I started, and soon I got far and far and far and back, and I've been able to go as back as the 1830s on both my mom and my dad's side. And my goal is to hopefully find whoever came from somewhere else, whoever migrated from Europe, or somebody from Africa, or maybe somebody who was Taino Indian somewhere in there. But I haven't got there yet. Everybody still, even in the 1830s that I've been able to get, is born, lived, and died in Puerto Rico. So I'm 100% Puerto Rican. Um, and it's interesting. My mom's side of the family is not only all from Puerto Rico since the 1830s that I've been able to get to, but they're all from the same city, and that's the city that we still live in today, which is up in the mountains. It's Morovis. So I'm 100% Moroveña and super proud of it. On my dad's side, we're from the south, from Ponce, but during my looking for my ancestors, they're not only from Ponce, but they're from other um, cities in the south. But on my mom's side, it's really interesting that everybody on that tree is born, live, and died in Morovis, and we're still there. So um, that makes me really proud to say that that my family's been in that city since almost about the foundation of the city itself. So now about the DNA. So like I said, I expected to have Spanish, I expected to have African, I expected to have Dino Indian. Now the percentages that I was expecting, so I was expecting maybe about like 50% Spanish, on the lighter side, and my dad's family is a lot lighter. My mom's family also has like a lot of people with blue and green eyes, so I thought, definitely there's a lot of Spanish there. Plus, I know Puerto Rico is one of the islands in the Caribbean with the most European heritage. Then I thought maybe about 20% African, because like I also have a lot of other darker skinned people in my family, and Puerto Rico was big on the slave trade route to the Americas. And then I also thought maybe about 15% Native American, and the reason why I went low on that is because it's been said for generations now that our Indians were completely wiped out. It hasn't been since a little bit more recently that there have been studies done that our Taino DNA is still strong within our people. So I kind of said, oh, maybe 15%. The rest of the percentages I didn't even think of, because 50 plus 20 plus 15 is about, it's definitely not 100%. So I didn't think about where all of this DNA, this other DNA might have come from. So it's definitely interesting to check that out. So now to my results. So that when you get your results back, it shows you, first it shows you like your three biggest areas. And I got Iberian Peninsula number one. Then I got Africa number no, then I got Native American number two and Africa number three. which was really interesting because I wouldn't expect to get Native American number two, like ever. So, and then when you open it up and you go part by part, it goes in alphabetical order. So, the first region that I'm going to share with you is Africa. I got 10%, which I definitely think was low. Definitely a lot lower than I expected, and a lot lower than even I really wanted. I wanted to have a lot more African in me. I'm very proud of our African roots. So I'm only 10% African, and then that breaks down to 4% from Mali, 2% Africa North, 2% Nigerian, 1% Ivory Coast Ghana, and a trace from Senegal, which is less than 1%, but it's somewhere in there. Maybe it was 1, 2, 3 people back when. There's a small trace in there. Then it goes to America, and that's definitely the only group within America is the Native Americans, and that's 17%. That's a lot. That's basically, if you round it, that's a fifth of my DNA is Taino Indian. And when I saw that number, I was like, wow, like that's huge for me, and I'm so proud of that number that, you know, a fifth of me, or almost a fifth of me, is Taino Indian, and that Tainos live, even though people, you know, say that they were decimated, they're right here. Like, we're still living, even if it's just 17% of us. Then I have, the next one is Asia, which, well, before I got my results, I checked other Puerto Ricans' results, and very few Puerto Ricans got Asia at all. So I was super excited to get Asia South, which is India, and that's 2%. 2%. That's a lot out of a group that rarely any Puerto Ricans get. And then the only like other 1 or 2 Puerto Ricans that I've seen that has got Asia has been Asia, like China Asia. I haven't seen yet anybody with India Asia. So I'm really excited to be 2% Indian. Then the next one is Europe, and that's my biggest chunk. I'm 67% European. And that is 43% Iberian Peninsula. So 43% Spain and Portugal, and that's like my biggest chunk. That's almost half of me is from Spain, and I'm loving that because my first language is Spanish, and you know, we're also proud of our Spanish heritage. So I'm happy that the biggest chunk from Europe is actually from Spain. Then the drop of the next European country is really drastic. So it goes from 43% Iberian Peninsula to 11%, which is the next one, which is Italy, Greece. That's a huge drop. Then is 8% Great Britain, which really was like, Great Britain? Really? Seriously? That really threw me. Then Scandinavia, 2%. That threw me also, like, Scandinavia, wow. Then the trace regions, I have a few. There's Europe West, and that's like France, Germany. Then there's European Jewish. Then there's Europe East, and then there's Ireland. Those are less than 1%. These are trace regions. Then the next one is Pacific Islander. That one also really threw me, and it's just a trace. It's just 1% trace region, but it's still super interesting. I mean, it's in there. It's in there somewhere. Somebody came from Polynesia sometime, and that has me like really happy. It's like, I'm Moana. Then the last region is West Asia, and that's Middle East and Caucasus regions, and that's 2% of 2% Caucasus and 1% Middle East. So in total, West Asia is 3%. And the Caucasus region is like Iran, Iraq, Syria, and the Middle East is more like Saudi Arabia. And then I want to show you my old world map. So my new world map is just the Americas, and the whole Americas is highlighted. So there's really, it's a map with the Americas and it's all highlighted. But I want to show you my old world map because that's the one that's the most interesting one. And this is like, wow, look at this. Look at that. Everything is highlighted except for like Russia and East and West Africa. And Polynesia is also highlighted. I just couldn't fit it all into a screen grab. But look at that. I have India, Middle East, Europe, Africa, Scandinavia. It's really, really interesting. So I'm from everywhere. And looking at other YouTube videos of people's results, I haven't seen somebody with this much mix. I really haven't. The only other person that I have seen with this much mix is there was a video that was done. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it. It was a DNA test, and there was a guy from Cuba, and he had a really crazy all over the world result like this. So I'm thinking that a lot of the people in the Caribbean, we are like the Caribbean is a melting pot, and I'm really happy about that. I'm a citizen of the world, so 100% Puerto Rican, but with a little bit of sprinkle of everything, and that made, you know, this Puerto Rican girl. So I hope you liked my video, and would I suggest people to do it? Would I recommend it? Yes, definitely. Try it.